Hey everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my first lecture. Starting it with the name of Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, the most merciful, the most beneficent. May Allah make it easy for me to deliver my teachings to you in the easiest way, and may Allah make it easy for you people to understand what I want to teach you as well. All right, what we are going to learn here in this class. Let's start it. We are here to learn how to communicate in English. And why we want to learn how to communicate in English? Because we all know that this is an international language, and if we know this language, we can communicate to the whole community of this world, like to the entire world. And eventually, if we can communicate in English, we can get good jobs wherever we are in the world, and even we can start our own business as well, right? So the least we can do, which is not just the least, but in reality is on the top, that it gives us confidence, and it enables us to deliver our message to all the people of the world in the most civilized way, right? We can communicate and we can deliver our message to the entire world through this language, right? So what it is basically English is just a language, right? And to learn any language, what we need to do, from where the learning starts for any language, let me make it clear, there will be repetition for the word language. Why? Because if we need to communicate in English, we need to be aware that this is just a language, first of all right. How we can learn it? There are two ways, and it starts from listening. Let me tell you, it starts, English or any other language starts from listening. For example, if you could just concentrate on a baby whose mind is blank and he knows nothing, and he is just 2 or 3 years old, and he starts speaking. Whatever he listens from his surroundings, no matter if it is Pashto, it can be Urdu, it can be Punjabi, it can be French, German, or English. Whatever he listens, he starts repeating that. And this is not just listening, how it works. When he listens, he starts, he focus, and he starts observing that what is happening. If someone says, fetch me a glass of water, or give me a glass of water, he watches that, like what is the action is happening in return of communicating the one some certain sentence, some certain words. For example, if someone says turn on the TV, right? His mother says or his father says turn on the TV. One says turn on the TV, and second one turns on the TV, right? So he watches, right? When he watches, he observes that what is the command, this is the command, and this is the action which is happening in return of that command, right? He listens, he observes, and then he starts repeating. His mind catch the message, and he starts repeating that. And when he repeats, he starts repeating with the words, simple words. Then he starts making simple sentences. Then he repeats them, and slowly and gradually he starts speaking the same language, whatever he listens from his surroundings. Are you getting what I'm saying? Whatever he listens, he observes, he watches, he observes, and then he starts repeating in the form of small words. then in the form of small sentences, then those sentences starts becoming a complete language. He can communicate in the complete sentences, big sentences. The sentences turns into a paragraph, then it becomes like longer, wider and wider. Like he becomes expert in speaking that language, right? But that's not enough. He just can speak that. For becoming literate, he's still an illiterate because he does not know how to read or how to write. To become proficient in that language, he needs to learn. He need learn reading first of all. Then he needs to learn. After that, he can write. Right after reading, he can write, and eventually he becomes that much confident. Then after that, after passing from all these milestones, first of all he listens, watches, observes. After that, when he's able to speak, like he able to speak mere to able to mere speaking. After that he reads, right? He reads multiple things. Then after that he starts writing, and later on eventually he becomes an expert in that language. And you then you call him a literate person in that language. Then you can get the certificate. Or if you just want to speak that language, you can go and focus on listening. What do you need to do? You need to be in that environment where people are speaking that language. For example, when someone goes from Pakistan to another country, right? They go in UK, people go in USA or Europe, wherever people speak English. So when they go there, they know nothing. They don't know how to speak, right? Even though all of the people who goes from Asia, this is called Asia, for example, all right? So they all have a base in their mind. They all have read about English. They have read the essays, the stories, the letters, and they have actually a quite vast vocabulary in their unconsciousness, but they don't have any idea about that. They are not aware of that. So when they go there, they starts watching, they listens that, and the circle is the same as it happens to a baby. They listens, they watch, they observe, and then they start repeating. When they start repeating, so they get into practice, and when they practice, it becomes easier for them to communicate whatever language is being spoken there in their surroundings. Are you getting? So things goes like that. What comes on the top, it is listening. As I am trying to communicate thoroughly in English. Why? Because I want you to listen it and then repeat it. Right? You all know about it, but you are not confident about speaking it. Why? Because you are confused about grammar. Whenever you need to be confident about any language, you need to know about the basics of that language. And what is the basics of English or Urdu or Arabic, even Punjabi or Pashto? Because I know Punjabi, I am learning Arabic as well, Alhamdulillah. I know Urdu, I know English, so I know the grammar. What comes on the top? You need to learn grammar. And what do we learn in the grammar on top? This is tense. It is tense. And what is tense? Tense is just time. Tense, you can the alternate name of tense is, or the meaning of tense is time. And time is divided in three forms: present, which is going on; past, which has gone; and future, will be after present, which is going to be there, which will come, right? There are only three forms of tense. There are only three forms of time. And if you are able to deliver your message in these three form of times, you know what are tenses, right? You're aware about that. And what is the formula of speaking the right tenses? You just need to know two things. Two only thing. Tenses are easiest thing in the whole world. Let me tell you, this is not like a very difficult thing. You only change two things: helping verb and form of verbs. I'm repeating, you change helping verb and form of verb according to present, past, or future, and you can deliver your message in any tense. If you need to know which helping verb and form of verb you need to put in present tenses, you need to know which helping verb or form of verbs you will put in past, and if you know that which helping verb and form of verbs you will put in future, then you know the tenses. Simple. And I will let you know how to do that, right? After that, what comes? Vocabulary. Again, I have told you that we all have a quite wide or vast number of vocabulary in our unconsciousnesses, right? We have that in our minds, but we just don't use that. We don't repeat that. So that's why when we try to speak that, we take pauses. We start thinking, what is the meaning of this word, what we used to what we need to use here, because we don't practice, we don't repeat the words, we don't speak those words. That is why we are not clear that we which expressions or which vocabulary we need to use on what point. We have no idea about that. How we will learn that? When we will start communicating, when we will start repeating, when we will start practicing, right? And how we will start practicing? First of all, whatever you already know, you need to start repeating in your own mind. Start thinking in English. If you want to learn this language, you need to think in English. When you will start thinking in it, slowly and gradually, the thing whatever you are thinking, that will start coming on your mouth. You will start repeating that. You will start unconsciously, you will the words, the sentences will start slipping from your mouth, right? And after thinking, and that this is a process or whole circle, you need to get into practice, right? To get into this circle, after completing this step, you need to stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself. Start speaking in English with your own self. After that, start communicating with the community, with your community, because everybody knows the meanings. Everybody can tell you what you are telling me, what you are communicating to me. Even somebody is telling you something in English, and you cannot speak that, but you can understand that, you know that. That is why I'm not telling anything in Urdu. Yeah, I want to tell everything in English, because I know that you can understand that. Still, if there are people who cannot understand thoroughly in English, I will provide you an Urdu lecture, which I recorded like through 3 or 4 months ago. I can provide you, but I will encourage you to listen it in English as well, right? All right. After practicing with the people in your surrounding, you need to get into that in that environment where everybody can, sorry, speak. They know that language, they understand, and they can speak as well. What will happen? That will boost your confidence. You will actually get into that community where that language is completely normal, and you can communicate in that, and everybody can communicate in that language. There will be the final milestone where you will be confident. Yeah, where you will get or you will be on that point. Yeah, right now you know how to speak English. Right now, how you can communicate in English. Now this is easiest for you now. This is just as simple for you as your own mother tongue is, right? So these are the steps. And after vocabulary, we will work on phrases, where some important phrases, and practice, practice, practice. And you need to get into practice at least for 3 to 6 months at least. I will not say that you will learn it in just 1 month. Yeah, you can start speaking in 1 month, even in 1 week. But if you want to be a proficient, if you want to be fluent, if you want to be excellent, you need to practice for 3 to 6 months. And after that, if somebody needs to have accent, So let me tell you, there are we don't have any accent. The Asians, the Pakistanis, the Bangladeshi, the Indians, we just speak. We can speak, but we don't have accent because there are two popular accent in the whole world. Like as according to my information, one is IELTS, American accent, and second is Britishers. Uh, TOEFLs. Sorry, TOEFLs is for Americans and IELTS is for Britishers. Right? So TOEFLs, in TOEFLs, what do Americans do? They have cut it short. They have make abbreviations. They don't speak accurate and pure English. They have cut it short and they use slangs, right? They use slangs and they are too much into the practice that they speak very fastly, and they have their that's converted into American accent. And the people who speaks in UK, the Britishers, they speak pure English, right? And they speak fast as well. So they have another accent. For learning, after learning the language, for getting the accent, you need to be in that surroundings where the people are speaking the same accent. Language is all about practice, and accent is all about your surroundings. Wherever you live, you will pick that accent. Simple. If somebody wants to go do IELTS, they need to, after learning the language, after passing all the milestones, all the steps, what you need to do, you need to start watching the videos or the dialogues or the dramas of the same like whatever you like. If you want to learn Britishers accent, start watching their TV serials, their dramas, and their dialogues. And if you want to get American accents, you start watching their TV serials, their dramas, and their dialogues, and start listening to them, right? And how we will, if you want to learn American accent, there are some others, multiple ways of there. I can if you people want to learn that, I can teach you that how you can cut short the words, because I am too much interested in that accent as well. Anyhow, that's my personal choice. So I can elaborate that, and we will work on that as well, inshallah ta'ala. Like finally, when we will be after when we'll complete the whole steps, then we will go towards that. Anyhow, this was the introduction I wanted to give you. I hope that it will be beneficial for all of you. So if it will be, so do follow it and do spread it in among other peoples, because that will be the huge favor for me as well. And definitely, inshallah ta'ala, this will be beneficial for all the people who are listening this lecture, because you all know that I'm not going to have anything in return. Thank you so much. Take very good care of yourself, and see you all in the next lecture, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.